Galloway, eHow's garden expert, and here are my tips for growing a beautiful organic garden. Tulips are a classic spring flower, but you need to plant their bulbs in the fall if you want a beautiful spring display. Today I'm going to show you how to plant bulbs correctly and how to protect them from critters. Here's what you'll need: some compost, a trowel, tulip bulbs, some chicken wire, wire snips, and soft rock phosphate. Step 1. Select tulip varieties based on color, form, local adaptation, and bloom time. Remember that hybrid tulips will look beautiful the first year, but by the second year they'll have smaller blooms, and by the third year you might not get any flowers at all. If you don't want to plant bulbs every year, consider planting species tulips like Tulipa greggii or Tulipa kaufmanniana. These bulbs come back every year, multiply, and sometimes have more than one flower per bulb. Step 2. Purchase high-quality bulbs that are free of bruises or soft spots. Good sources are local nurseries as well as websites and mail order catalogs. Step 3. Plant in early fall in cold weather climates. In warmer climates, you're going to want to plant in late fall. If you live in USDA hardiness zones 8 through 10, you're going to need to chill tulips for 8 to 10 weeks by placing them in a paper bag and putting them in the refrigerator prior to planting. Otherwise, they won't bloom. You can also purchase pre-chilled bulbs. If you live in these zones, 8 through 10, you also need to keep in mind that tulips are definitely annuals. You'll have to dig them up every year and chill them if you want them to rebloom. So it's definitely easier if you just purchase new bulbs every year and plant them. Step 4. Select a sunny site that has well-draining soil and dig in 1 to 2 inches of compost. Spread the compost 1 to 2 inches thick over the top of the soil. And if it's a large area, instead of a trowel, you may want to use a shovel to dig it in. This process also loosens up the soil, and it'll make it easier for you to dig your bulb holes. Step 5. When you plant tulips, you want their holes to be about 3 to 4 times as deep as the bulb is wide. For instance, with this bulb, it's about 2 inches wide. So you're going to want its hole to be about 6 to 8 inches deep. Now, there's lots of special bulb planters out there, but I think a trowel works just fine unless you're interested in filling up your tool shed with a bunch of tools that only have one purpose. When you're planting a lot of tulip bulbs, it's better to dig one big hole rather than several individual holes. Digging one big hole will save you a lot of time, and the tulips will look better when they come up in spring. Step 6. I've been digging my hole here, and I just want to check and make sure that I've got it deep enough before I put my tulip bulbs in. So I'm going to get out my trusty ruler here and give a little eyeball check. 7 inches, that's pretty good, because if you recall, I said that I needed to plant my bulbs about 6 to 8 inches deep. So before I plant, I'm going to put some rock phosphate in the bottom of the hole. Rock phosphate is high in phosphorus, and it encourages good root and bloom development. And unlike bone meal or fish meal, it's not attractive to rodents and other critters. So I'm going to just sprinkle a little bit of that in. And then I'm going to plant my bulbs. So you're going to take the bulb and you're going to want to put it root side down, pointy side up. The bulb should be about 6 inches apart, 4 if you want a tighter planting. And they look best clustered rather than planted in a straight line. It looks much more natural, and it's very pretty if you just stick them around in a cluster. Step 7. If you've had the unfortunate experience of having squirrels dig up your bulbs and eat them, then you may want to take an extra level of protection and make a little cage out of chicken wire. What you want to do first is just get a rough idea of how much chicken wire you're going to need. And so then you're just going to want to snip it with the wire snips. And this goes by pretty fast. The wire snips go right through that chicken wire. And then what you're going to do is make a really simple cage. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be perfect. After all, it's going to be buried under 7 inches of soil. Place the wire in the hole, and then you just kind of scrunch it around your bulbs like this, folding the edges under, and just kind of smush it right down over the top of them then. And this will prevent the squirrels from getting your bulbs, though they can be very persistent, so it may not totally eradicate squirrel damage, but it significantly helps. And the tulip foliage will actually grow right up through the holes in the chicken wire. So once you get your chicken wire in place, then you can go ahead and backfill your hole with the soil that you dug out. Step 8. Now all you have left to do is water your bulbs in.